Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach. I'm Sara, the expert.
And I'm Caleigh, the beginner.
Join us as we discuss fitness culture
from our two very different perspectives.
So grab yourself a protein shake
or a glass of wine
and let's get started. So Caleigh, if I say the words skinny fat, what comes to mind?
My life. My entire existence up to this point in my life.
I don't know why it still surprises me, the things that come out as answers to questions. I wasn't expecting that at all. And they just I'm sure somebody will have something to say about this topic.
Yeah,
because I'm sure it'll probably be offensive to somebody. Everyone's so freaking soft anymore that it's just okay, well, we're going to go there. We're going to talk about it because it's a thing.
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you want.
It's skinny fat.
It is skinny fat.
Right.
It will forever be skinny fat. You can be a size 0 and your body fat percentage cannot be healthy.
Right.
But on the outside, people are like, oh yeah, you're tiny.
I think that's a thing I've always kind of known in the back of my mind is that skinny does not equal healthy.
Right.
But for me, it's always been, I've never battled weight really, I guess, until I hit 35. I've always been skinny. I always kind of use that as an excuse to be the rules don't really apply to me.
Well, they hadn't until that.
They really
point,
hadn't, But was I healthy? No.
Well, I mean, judging by the amount of Mountain Dew that you probably consumed over those.
That was judgy.
Decade.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
All right.
I think I got through high school on Mountain Dew.
Okay.
That's good. You just kept going from there.
Yeah.
It's a good choice, though. Good choice.
No, and I would say as a kid, I didn't grow up eating, healthy dinners, healthy meals in general. You had your school lunches. I would say my mom was kind of more of, growing up in the 90s, we weren't doing grilled chicken and veggies.
That really dates me too, because I would have said you were growing up in the 80s and you said growing up in the 90s. It's oh, well.
You're not, so are you not a millennial? No.
So I am technically the first year of a millennial, but there's this micro generation between the Gen X's and the millennials of 7 years. Okay. That I'm officially in because it describes me perfectly. So
sidebar, but anyway.
It is, yes.
No, and back then it wasn't, and no shade to my mom or whatever, but it was goulash. It was,
What's wrong with goulash? That's a pretty hardcore.
Texture wise, there's a lot.
Well,
wrong.
That's true. You would not appreciate the goulash. Well,
we don't need to go into that.
And that was when a lot of food started coming out where it was the Pop-Tarts, the cereal. Yeah. You look at all the stuff that was typical breakfast items back then, which are still super delicious. Yeah. But that was the start of my day every day.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't say I grew up eating particularly healthy, carrying over into taking care of myself as an adult. Didn't eat particularly healthy, didn't work out.
But you were getting away with it though, right? Because you weren't really seeing that it was changing
skinny.
Anything.
Yeah. I was skinny. I've always been skinny. I've never checked into what's my body fat percentage. I've never cared.
Right.
I never had to.
Because your scale weight stayed pretty consistent. Yeah. Your genes, because genes can be a really good indicator of, how you're maybe changing, right? Because, old school genes weren't very forgiving. Now the jeggings they're not quite as fair because you can give and take a little bit, but traditional old school genes.
Right. Well, and there was the phase with I don't know how old you were with the,
say it,
the low rise.
Oh yeah. That was college.
Okay. Yeah. High school.
Bend over and it was just.
Yeah. Bad choices were made.
Really bad.
All across the board. It wasn't our fault. That's what I keep telling myself.
What was your favorite brand of jeans back then?
I've always been American Eagle.
Oh, all right.
Up until probably the last 5 years.
And then would you switch to?
I'm the kind of person that when ADHD, when I find something that works for me, I'm going to buy that for the next 10 years. Okay. So I wore American Eagle jeans.
Forever.
I stopped.
You're now everyone in the world just wears athleisure wear.
Well, and now you can't. So apparently skinny jeans aren't in anymore. They went out with the side part.
I can't keep up on these things. Wait, I'm sorry. What? So skinny jeans are no longer. It's the mom jeans, right?
Skinny jeans are out. Side parts are out.
Well, I did know that one because they were making fun of. Yeah. which I can pull the middle part. So
I can't keep up with it all.
I can't either. But what's the skinny jeans getting replaced with now?
Flares. We're going back to flares.
Oh, yeah.
We're going back to the flares.
No. So are they going to be made from like the jeggings material? Or are we going to go back to like the old school unforgiving denim?
I haven't crossed over. I am either leggings or skinny jeans.
I'll probably be about 5 years behind this trend probably. And then eventually I'll maybe catch up and it'll be like totally fine.
I don't judge you.
I mean, that's just the way that we roll. So I went through a silver jeans kick where I had in college, I probably had 20 different pairs of silver jeans because they had very different styles and, you know, just would go. And that was where I was at. Yeah. So
anyway,
Pepe. Do you remember the Pepe jeans? No, you were too young.
I'm very young.
Like elementary school.
I'm very young.
Yeah. Yo, Alan remembers the Pepe jeans. I remember for Christmas.
Jinkos. I remember Jinkos. That was a sixth grade.
Those?
The big, wide. I didn't wear them.
Oh, well, no.
The big, wide, like straight leg. I mean, not even straight leg. They were
like the bell bottom. Well, the wide flare.
Yeah. Like super wide flare.
Oh, I must have missed that. When did you think that? When did you say that?
I was in like sixth grade.
Yeah, I missed that stage then, I guess. I don't remember those. Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
Oh, I do know Limp Bizkit. So, okay. Now I'm like, I don't think I ever went there though. I never had a pair of those. But those, you know, you'd be able to move around stuff a little bit.
Anyway.
Okay. So we went from skinny fat to skinny jeans. So, I mean, it kind of like transitioned just fine.
So skinny fat.
Because it's, you know, jeans have always been the one thing that
really measures your
how your actual size, right?
Yep.
So, and it's evolved because now they're stretchy, but that was, you know, years ago, you used to keep that one pair of jeans that you're like, oh, I just want to get back to like those jeans. Those are my ones from high school or whatever, some significant period of time in your life that was like your goal.
I mean, and I would say I was always like in the American Eagle jeans, I was always in like a 6.
Yeah.
Then I, at some point, went up to an 8. Fine there.
Pre-kids or post-kids?
Pre.
Okay.
A little bit.
So it started kind of
after I had my first daughter, we've talked about how I just got like super skinny. Way skinny. I was probably back down to a 6, if not smaller. And then it was, and here's my testimony. That's where everything turned around. This is why we're sitting here right now.
Right. Okay.
Was because last summer, not even a year ago, I was up to a size like 12, 10 on a good day.
You were?
Yeah. I got a big badonkadonk.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
you
there's
have
not,
some junk in the trunk.
It adds to, you know, definitely the jeans situation.
Oh, for sure.
Nothing else.
Yep.
I've always liked my butt. It's always been there. It's always been reliable, consistent, nice big butt.
Yeah.
But when I start gaining weight,
like the thighs,
it gains weight first,
yes,
and then the thighs for sure. So what happened last summer was like, you know, I've had my 2 kids. I'm not having any more kids. I realized I was, you know, getting into the 12 size, which there's nothing wrong with a size 12 at all. It was not a weight or a size that I had ever been. And so it made me stop and evaluate where I was going. You know, I'm getting up, creeping towards 40, not quite there yet.
No, you still got a few years left. Thanks for rubbing that one in. It's no big deal, but you know, I'm not there yet.
And to be honest with you, you don't know this. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Was you and I were playing, we weren't playing together. Our kids were playing together one day. And you had just like taken a picture of me with one of the kids. Yeah. Cute. You know, one of my kids, whatever. You sent it to me after the play date. And it was like, all I could see was my thighs. Massive. You probably didn't notice it because
I see your, I mean, I would see.
Yeah, you're like, here's a cute picture of you and your
whole
daughter.
Day. Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, oh, I have to do something. What I had already done was I had already just kind of like settled into like, you know what? This is just going to be the size that I am. I went out and bought shorts that were just bigger because I was tired of feeling like shit trying to squeeze into my size 8 shorts.
Right.
So
it was not comfortable.
Did the thing, went out, bought the bigger shorts. And that's when I started running. And I've lost, 20 pounds?
Yeah,
since
a lot.
Last summer.
Yep.
Back down to I don't even know because I only wear leggings.
Because Because now you've officially like crossed over.
Now
you're like, I'm a runner and all I do is wear is leggings. So, I don't even know what it'd be like to go back and be like a regular person again.
I did take out those shorts the other night.
Oh, you
shorts
did?
that I bought last summer.
Oh, did you put them on?
And they were size 12.
Yeah?
And I put them on.
They probably slid right down, didn't they?
They don't fit at all.
Do you have a picture of you in those shorts from last summer somewhere, do you think?
Probably.
Jeremy maybe snapped a picture or something and you got him?
Take pictures of me. I probably have. But
Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
I
like
sent you that picture of me from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That was
the side by side.
That was 2 year.
Okay.
It was the same picture. And it wasn't even meant to be a weight comparison picture.
No.
It was just, we were down at the quarry. There was this funny truck seat that 2 years ago I had taken sitting on this.
It was
truck
still
seat
sitting there?
Quarry. Yeah. We were back there a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh, the seat's here. We're here. Let's do it. Took the picture and I was like,
night and day difference.
I'm like withering away.
Yeah. Right. Well, well, I'm just getting back to where I was a long time ago.
But that was really shocking to see. I mean, I knew I'd lost weight.
But see that side by side.
But the things that I wasn't doing before was, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, watching what I'm eating. I've never had to watch what I eat ever.
Right. Yeah.
I never even really understood what that meant.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, I can't have the cake.
A lot. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just eat the cake.
It never did anything to me.
Right.
Until it did.
And then it snuck up and all of a sudden it was like, wait a second, what's going on?
So, I mean, while I lost about 20 pounds, I think I probably would have been 20 pounds if, give or take more by now.
Right.
Had I not made the changes that I had made.
Yeah. Just the simple life changes, like
I was
slowly over 2 years.
I was on an upward.
Well, and I feel like a lot of people hit that moment where you're like, I've got a fork in the road. Like for me, I used to travel a lot for my job. And so I spent a lot of time in airports. I lived in hotel rooms because I would pack my suitcase on, Monday or Tuesday. I'd be gone through the week. I'd come back. And that was the moment for me sitting in airports, and I'd be in like my business suit, which are equally restrictive as jeans.
Yep.
And I would watch people flashing forward, 20, 30 years that had probably been doing that their whole careers.
Yeah.
And winded as they would get to like the next jet bridge.
Yeah.
Or you would see the people walking back and forth, the business people. And I was just thinking, oh my goodness, is that my path that I'm going down?
Right.
Is that the life? Like if I don't do something,
that's what is, I think,
the
is
lifestyle is hard.
Is it's not necessarily where am I at now, because I could have lived like that. I could have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's where is, if I keep going like this, where is this going to take me? And is that a thing I'm willing to live with?
Right.
For me, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
It wasn't for me either. I just had that moment where it was these habits or this lifestyle is very easily going to take me down that path.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do to become more aware of the things that I can do differently and start making just some of those changes in the things that I order, where I'm eating, how much I'm moving.
Yep.
Instead of sitting in the hotel at night working on my computer, just spending 30 to 45 minutes getting down to the gym, whatever it is, just moving.
Yep.
And sleeping, water, stress.
And I get frustrated because I don't have this foundation of, health, wellness, and fitness. I've never been immersed in this world until now.
Yeah.
I've never cared. I never had to.
Yeah.
So to get into it now, this, late to the game is frustrating because, you're just starting from scratch.
It's never too late to start.
It's not too late to start.
I think I do hear that a lot.
Because I would rather do it now
100%
at 37 years old than do it in 20 years, And
even then, if you're doing it in 20 years, it's never too late to start.
Absolutely
it's never too late to start. So,
but it's harder. It gets harder, Am I wrong?
The longer you keep with your current lifestyle, of course, it's harder to break habits.
Yeah.
But, you can change, and it's never too late to take a look at all the different areas of your life and change. Like you don't have to be that person that's, I have to choose a ground floor room because I don't have to take the steps. Right. Like take the steps, keep your leg strength going, like keep doing that. You've got grandkids or even kids, like keep picking them up, move them around. They're built in weights that you can incorporate activity into your everyday life.
Yep.
Those make a difference for sure. So when we look at like the actual definition of skinny fat, so we've talked a lot about overall size.
Yeah.
Because for you, that's what it was. You stayed pretty much in the same size of your clothes and you're like, it's totally fine. So, you know, that also kind of leads us into like body composition, which we'll probably save for another whole episode because, you know, it mentioned body fat percentage. And so if you look at your body fat percentage, it's like what part of my overall weight is fat versus muscle, bones, organs, all the fun things. And so, you know, you can be small in your exterior, but your body fat percentage can get into an unhealthy range.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people, you don't see. So when you reference skinny fat, that's, you know, you're feeling kind of squishy, small, not super firm.
Yep. And I've never been, you know, obviously I've never been muscular or toned or anything like that. It was always just
Small,
you know, skinny.
tiny, like whatever. But well, and there is some research or just information that will back up if we take a look at ideal weight. So if you take a look at, I tell people, what did you weigh when you graduated high school? Because it's a moment in life that most people can take themselves back to and remember kind of what that period of time was like. But your ideal weight is typically somewhere between the ages of 16 and 20, where you were at in there. And so it's interesting because this story first came to me. My grandma was always a daytime TV watcher. And so she was watching, I think, Dr. Oz or something at some point, which I could get on a whole nother soapbox about Dr. Oz, but
for another episode.
That's for another episode too. But you know, he had done this, I think it was him or someone on daytime TV did this episode where they talked about the weight that you should be at the rest of your life is from what you were weighing when you were 18. And I kind of ran that by a few people, and I ran it through somebody that's really super experienced, you know, 40 years in the industry, has done a ton of research, all the things. And I kind of retold that story, and he's like, it's not just 18. Your ideal body weight is in this 4-year range of your life. But yes, there is an ideal weight that you have for your body. And so a lot of times that's a good starting point for people. If you're like, I don't really know what I should weigh. It's like, well, how far are you off from where you were when you graduate high school? Because it kind of like is right in the middle. It's something usually people kind of will remember around that period in time in life. And so for me, that was always the number I tried to get back to, that I feel like my body's healthy for like.
Have you got back to
started having kids? I'm within 10 pounds of it.
Because I
15
recently
10 to 15.
I don't remember.
It depends.
I don't remember where I heard this, but I did recently hear that I think that people try so hard, maybe because that's a thing, try to get back to their weight that they were when they graduated. But the thing that you have to remember is your body, you don't have the same body that you had when you graduated. You've had 4 kids. You have, I don't know how many years since you graduated.
A long time. I'm way beyond my 20-year reunion.
But, you know, like imagining like fitting back into the jeans, for example, that you fit in when you graduated. It's not going to happen.
It could.
You don't have the same type. Your body type is not the same.
Mine's probably not that different. It could be. I actually do think I have a pair of silver jeans that was a pretty straight legs. I'm going to dig those bad boys out. I don't think I could fit in quite now, because when I graduated high school, I was around like 150, I think, around there, 155 maybe. And so there's like a 5-year window, both plus and minus. It's kind of your range. I just think that
an 18-year-old's body compared to 40-year-old's body, I mean, we're talking bone structure even, is not the same as what you were.
Your bone structure doesn't change after 18.
It does.
Listen.
Google it.
How does it change?
Because
your bone?
You were younger.
I know, but I didn't push my kids out my hips.
You only had 18.
So they cut them out my belly.
You don't think having babies in your belly did anything to
my bones? Probably not.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm not a professional. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
In my mind, that
I mean,
makes
your
sense.
bones are pretty like sturdy. Now, do I think that you're maybe like your ligaments or your muscles and stuff stretched out to be pregnant? Absolutely. But you can also work on getting that back, which we're going to have a guest that's going to talk about pelvic floor health and kind of all that stuff. So
you need to find a picture of you when you were 18. I will find a picture of me when I was 18. I don't think no matter what I do, I will never have that body again.
You could fit into your jeans though.
Possibly.
From then.
I was like
I'm going to find those jeans. I'm pretty sure that I've got them.
I was real little.
I mean, you're not very big anymore. You know, it could happen. You know what? We'll make a TikTok about that. Caleigh and Sara try on their like gold jeans from high school and see how that goes. It's like, am I there yet or am I not there yet? I don't really know.
I did have the dress that I wore to my graduation. I had it for a long time.
Yeah.
And like probably like a decade after I graduated, I think I wore it to a wedding.
Nice.
I don't have it anymore.
Well, why not?
I don't keep things.
Well, you did for a long time.
I kept that.
And all of a sudden,
I don't even have my wedding dress. Like I don't keep
Really?
nothing.
Oh, you should come through my house. But then I'm always, the second I get rid of it, I need it.
I don't ever think
and then
about
I'm like,
it
oh,
again.
well, that's why I don't get rid of it. That's why I don't get rid of those extra screws that came with that table, because guess what? I'm going to need that screw.
Nope. I get rid of everything.
I like that. I wish I was more like that.
It's a vibe.
I like it. That's a minimalist thing that I totally need to get on board with, because I've got too much. We got stuff. We got lots of stuff. I just need to go through. Okay, so your journey after being skinny fat is now what?
Now I realize there's a difference between being skinny and being healthy. I think the clock ran out on my skinny days. So if I wanted to continue down that path,
right,
I was going to have to make some changes.
And you made them.
That's where I'm at. I'm making them.
That's true. That's true.
Getting there.
It's just a
Habit changing is, which I know we did an episode about that last season. We should probably touch on that again.
Yeah. It's a good one to always go back to.
I mean, the key to all of this is if you can't change your habits.
Yep. And put systems in place around those habits to keep them consistent.
If you've been living a certain way for so long, I used to think, because, you know, I grew up with ADHD.
You grew up with it or you still have it?
It doesn't go away.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the sad part. But unlike I think a lot of people now are getting diagnosed as adults. I grew up with a diagnosis. I was on Ritalin. And I used to always think that it was a learning problem, a school problem. I didn't do well in school because I had, you know, this ADHD, and I never really was aware that it was like a life problem, that it was like, you're going to struggle with all of these things, not just learning at school. And so going into, I think I largely ignored it most of my 20s, most of my 30s, probably until recently, where it's like, now I have to learn to accept that I do have ADHD, and how do I recognize the parts of my life that it affects, accept it, and learn to fix it, you know?
Yep.
Which is a whole nother thing.
Well, and that's not, I mean, that is.
The world's not made for neurodiverse people. The way that the world is designed is not made for people who don't think neurotypically. So, you know, I have to take everything and say, I struggle with this, you know, what do I need to do? I need to set a timer. What system do I need to have in place to get around this issue, where it's so hard because you grew up seeing everybody around you just being able to do it.
Right.
And I remember I used to take showers as a kid, and I used to think, like, after today, I'll do better. Everything will be better. I'll do good on my schoolwork. I will, you know, I'll be able to remember things. I'll be able to, I'm just going to make myself do it. And that's not the way that it works.
Right.
And then you would set yourself up for failure. So not until now, at 37 years old, have I realized these are the things that I need to do. These are the systems that I need to put in place to be able to, and I can do anything. ADHD is not mean I can't do anything.
Right. You should have your own system.
What systems do I need to put into place to be able to accomplish these things?
Well, and systems help in a lot of ways. And everyone's system just looks different based on what works for you.
And that's what I realized. It's like, who is neurotypical? Because I don't really even think.
I don't know if anyone's
that's a thing.
What is anyone neurotypical? I
don't think so.
Like, how do you, I mean,
I don't think so. I think everybody has
all
their
got
own
something. And if it's not like biological, it's trauma from somewhere. Oh, you know, you've got that whole side of things that are a part of everything too. Right. So
habit changing. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is habit changing.
For sure.
Habit building. That's been the key for me. I can't just be like, well, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to do a full workout. It's not the way that it works, you know? So I've had to like pick little chunks, slowly build, And that's been the key for me.
And there's a lot of times that happens though, where it's this all or nothing mentality when it comes specifically to health and wellness. And again, we hit on this in season 1, but there is nothing else that you ever do in life where it's all or nothing. Yeah. Really, it's,
and with an ADHD mind is that I don't do things because if I can't do it fully, I mean, even like cleaning my house, if I can't do it top to bottom, done in one day, you set these big lofty goals.
Yeah.
And if you can't accomplish that, which you can't.
No.
You can't.
Right.
And now you failed. Now you're a failure. And so I think a lot of people with ADHD in particular have lived with that feeling of failure. I do a workout, it's hard because I can't do the workouts that I'm seeing online that other people are doing. Well, if I can't do that, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So breaking those things down into smaller goals, I'm not going to lift like you, probably.
Not today or tomorrow, but we might get there.
But it's frustrating when you want to do a thing and your brain gets so fixated on that thing and then you can't do it.
Right.
So you just kind of like,
say no.
I'm just not going to do any of it.
Because why? Why even start then?
Why?
Why even start? Why even start? I think a lot of people can probably relate to that in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. So it is key. The systems, lifestyle changes, recognizing too when you see this path, and that it's never too late to start.
No.
Ever. Nope. Ever too late to start. But we're going to dig out our gold jeans just for fun. Okay. Why not?
Let's do it. We'll
see how much I changed after carrying 4 kids.
I mean, I don't have to actually have the jeans, do I? Because I don't have those.
Why? Because you get rid of some. I pack rat.
You have jeans that you had in high school?
I think so. I think I've got one pair that I've always kept. They were silvers and they were like the straight, just like straight legs down. I'm pretty sure. I don't have
jeans that I wore 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I do. Only because they were that one pair that I kept that was like, okay, I felt good in them.
I mean, I could probably go find like the same size of jeans.
But it's size 6 now. The same size 6 from...
I don't have them.
So. Okay, well, we'll have to figure out something else then, I guess. So we'll just have to go from there. So, okay. So there's not really, I don't know that we can really rate this topic because it just is what it is. So
I think it's,
I love talking about it because I think it's good for people to hear and realize, you're not alone and there's a lot of different things that you can go do but that skinny fat really is a thing.
Yep.
And that you can change it.
Yep. You can be skinny and you can be unhealthy at the same time.
Yeah. And that you have the power to be and choose whatever you want to be.
Oh, and one thing I wanted to add.
What?
I thought about this earlier was that I recently heard somebody that I know has gone through some health problems lately, and their doctor told them that the things that you do in your 30s and 40s determine the way that you feel in your 60s and 70s, which was like...
So it's not...
Wow.
Key time.
Yeah.
It's a key time for us. Huh. Well, I like that. There we go. I want to set myself up to be as capable as possible as I get older.
Yep.
For sure. So, all right. Well, there we go. That is the topic for today. And we'll end on that. So until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.